Hi there. In this Anytype video, I'll show the meeting notes management template with a use case for Professor Dumbledore's faculty meeting. And I'm using Anytype Desktop for a Mac version 0.39. Okay, so in the Anytype app, if you go to the toolbar here at the bottom and you select the circle where your name is, this is your spaces choice menu. And I have several spaces here. You can have your original space and just know that that one can't be deleted, and then you can create some other new ones. So I'm going to select the gallery, which is right here on the right side. And this is where there's a bunch of workspace templates. Anytype calls them experiences, but it's basically someone else's example that they've so generously shared with the entire community. So I'm going to select the meeting notes management one, and here there is an install button. You can choose to install it to any of your spaces, but I'm going to put it into an existing space right now for this example. So now it's installed, and let's see what came in. In my favorites widget here on the left, you can see that there is a meeting notes management collection as well as a homepage, which is blank. So let's go back to the meeting notes management. All right, here we've got several items, and to make it a little bit easier to understand what these are, I'm going to use the plus button to add a object type. And so we can see that these two are sets. I want to look at this CRM set. CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management, and this is a business term that is used for like a system where you're just keeping track of all your communications with your customers. Now you can change this to mean whatever you want. Like in this case, we're just talking about our faculty instead of our customers. All right, and so for this video, I'm going to repurpose some objects I already made. So I have this group called faculty, and the nice thing about Anytype is you can change the category these belong to, the type, and I'm just going to highlight them by using my mouse to click and drag. And then here, if you right click, you'll get this menu where I can change the type, and I'm going to make it into contact, just so that it fits with this meeting notes template. All right, so let's go back here, and now we can see that all those previous faculty are now in a set called contacts or CRM. So going back to the meeting notes set, let's open this one up and see what's in here. So this one is a grid view of all your meetings. So essentially it's kind of like how a spreadsheet has a list. Each row is one of your meetings, right? So here I'm going to select new, and it comes in with some pre-populated relations. So these two, RK and DR, I don't actually know what those stand for, sorry, but I know that Christian is the one who created this template, and these are probably very specific to his use case, but you can just go ahead and edit it to be whatever you want. So this one is a checkbox, and I would say maybe we'll just use in person. So for example, if you had in-person or virtual meetings, I can check this one so I can easily see, okay, where do I have to be physically on site, and where could I be if I just had a virtual meeting, if it was unchecked. And this DR, I don't really have something I can think of off the top of my head, so I'm just going to delete this one for now. But of course, you can rename it however you want if you want to use the checkbox feature. For the date, if you use that shortcut today at the bottom, it just populates today's date. And then for type, this is a tag, so you can have multiple options here. So right now, I'm just going to use one faculty to designate this meeting. And then here, under participants, this is an object type relation. So it will show all your existing objects that are in Anytype. One thing that I'd like to do is to limit the object type, which makes it easier. It's essentially a filter. And so for this one, I'm going to choose contacts. And that way the list is much smaller to choose from rather than having everything that's in Anytype. So I'm going to go ahead and select all of these people that would be at this meeting. And now we're getting into the actual meeting note itself. So on this page, the title came in because that's what was on the default layout for meetings. And so I'm just going to edit this and call it the Triwizard Tournament Planning. And you can see that the relations that we filled out on that grid view have already populated here in this layout. We also have some space to actually take freehand notes for the meeting as well as action items down at the bottom. So for this one, I'm going to keep it pretty short, delegating tasks for upcoming tournament. In action items, this task is a relation of objects. So these are all tasks that I've already made previously. So you can choose those here. But say you want to add a brand new task that you just started discussing during this meeting. One way to do that is to start typing \task and the menu will pop up here. And this creates a brand new task object and you can go ahead and edit it as needed here. I'm going to call this one form a student welcoming committee. This task actually has 2 templates, so I want to make sure I use one of the templates here. And now I can select a due date for this task. Let's go with April 5th, and then I want to put a status on it as well, so it's a to-do. So I want to put the linked project, which is not showing here in this. So you can do that from the triangle menu. I'm going to go back to my planning sheet and now we can see there's an additional task that's a new one that I wasn't able to put it in the tasks relation. But if we go to the graph view, you can see that they are all still connected to this note, as well as you can see everyone who attended the meeting. And you can also see the project that we were talking about. So in this way, you can also look at the flow, and this is just a different view of how all the objects are interrelated.